Record on this computer. All right. Welcome, everybody, to Stadia Party Chat Podcast, Episode 4. Today's date is June 20th, 2021. And I'm sitting here with my co host, Sebastien, who's currently drinking some coffee or tea.
Yeah, drinking coffee. How you doing, everyone?
Yeah. Well, I'm doing well myself, recovering from the Portuguese loss against Germany, but I was riding high on their first win against Hungary. So I'm representing my team. Go Portugal. So we'll see them out on the pitch against France, and we can just hope for the best there. I gotta say, all this Euro action is making me want to jump into FIFA. But knowing that FIFA 22 is just around the corner, I may just hold on. It's probably just soccer fever, and it'll go away once Euro ends. But oh, I want to jump into some FIFA right now and teach Germany a lesson on the Portuguese side.
That's funny. I'm not like a big football fan or a soccer fan, but yeah, it, it it was quite interesting the news about what happened. So yeah, definitely.
Cool, man.
If
What have you been up to this week? You've been busy, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been busy as usual, but I play some Destiny 2 a little bit. Just catch up on some of the story and complete some of the triumph. The story is getting crazier. Like you've seen it. Like if you complete the part there, Sivatoon is now involved in that, and there's like a lot of theory before that. Like Sivatoon's gonna be back somehow. Uh, there's like more theory about like having someone in the tower being infected, not infected, but possessed by her. So I know like Paul Tassi is like covering that too. Yeah, so like that Osiris might be the one that is like possessed or something like that since his ghost Sakira die I kept during the season of the Chosen. So yeah, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen because it changed a lot of what happened since season of the Chosen, right? So was he manipulating everyone? Like now he's like the right hand of Zavala, and he's more involved in the tower than he used to. It's quite interesting, right?
Yeah, and if you really listen to the dialogue coming from these players like Saint 14, Ikora, even on the conversation with the Elixni, and somehow Osiris just pops in, and yeah, he's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm always listening to all the lines. I'm always here listening." Like that's suspicious for sure. Like he's acting like a major sus. So we'll see how
Yeah.
that plays out over the coming weeks for sure.
Yeah, because you want to capture, I think, Sevatoon's pet. Uh, at one point, Matrax and him like having a talk, and Matrax is like, "Let's go destroy that person or that entity." Don't remember the name, but Osiris jump in and he's like, "No, let's capture it because we can like use him for like getting more information and learning more or something like that." And Matrax is like, "That's weird." Like he
Oh,
didn't doesn't
okay.
really like that. But yeah.
So Osiris may be possessed by Ash Ketchum, you say, because he's got to catch them all.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Good to see the story. It came out with the corrupted expunge missions. We were running through those, getting some quick times. The new chest with the keys. If anyone's curious about these keys, they show up looking like laurels from Guardians of the Game. They're like these blue triangle pyramids that show up on the ground. I discovered that the other day. But they're they're easy to miss, but luckily you can just grab them from your postmaster, whatever, if you miss them.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. If you don't grab them directly, they're gonna show up in your postmaster. So
yeah, pretty cool. New collectible, new chest. You get some high roll armor. I got a chest piece that was 65. Not in the stats I wanted, but again, it's rolling high rolls. So grab those keys, get into the expunge mission, and get the chest. It's definitely worth the loot. So Bungie's got a lot of high rolls going on as well. If you check out Zur, his transversive steps for the Warlock, if you have not seen that, are a high roll this week. So thank you, Destiny, for making it easier for us to make these better builds. This week, we jumped into the VOG challenge. Destroy wyverns as they sacrifice on the first counter. Sebastien, you were with me on this one.
Yeah. That was like an easy challenge I found. So I know I was running with my hunter, just like to try to raise him to 1320. And I was using the Widow Ord with the breach and clear and rocket launcher. Try to remember, I think it was Vanguard was with me. He's like, holy geez, like what did you use to this to melt that wyvern like down? And I was like, I just Widow Ord it and like with the rocket launcher just destroy them. But yeah, it was quite easy. You wait for them to start wiping and you kill them. You can use your super on them. So yeah, I don't know what was your strategy on your side, but I think you were a warlock, right?
Yeah, I was a warlock, so essentially the same thing. I brought Chaos Reach with me as well, just to vaporize anything that came in my way in case I didn't have the ammo for it. But one strange thing to look out for was we had the center Waverin go to sacrifice. He changed positions. He struck the team on the left with his jump and fly, started sacrificing on their conflux, killed him there, but it failed the challenge. So just make sure your chickens are sacrificing on the confluxes where they spawn, because apparently those are also connected.
Hmm.
So one lesson I learned from failing the challenge with another team there.
Yeah, and then those ads are weird, like they can teleport. Like I'm still noticing a lot of enemy teleporting from time to time. I feel like when they spawn the next few seconds, they can teleport. And it's not the Vex teleportation because you can see some of them teleporting. I mean, like the game server itself, it's just like acting up weird, and then sometimes the ad will be appearing in one spot and disappearing in the other, like reappearing in the other spot. Or I know that during that encounter, sometimes the wyvern are disappearing or the chicken, just because it's moving on within the phase of the encounter, if that makes sense. So that's a little bit that's normal. But other than that, yeah, the teleportation, like if you see what I mean, like you'll notice and be like, what the hell?
Yeah, and if they do teleport without a conflux, don't worry about it. You don't fail the challenge. Just make sure you don't kill a wyvern that is not sacrificing.
Hmm. Keep watching the bottom left of your screen for the fail encounter. It's gonna pop up if like you messed up. So
Yeah, and this time it's in red, so it's a little easier to see. I believe in DSC, it was just a white note.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was a white note. Yeah.
Well, moving on, we have the challenge of this week, which I kind of wanted to jump to, and that's the oracles. So when we're talking about the oracles here, the guardians must rotate oracles, and you are only able to destroy the same oracle once. So right off the bat, how do you do the seventh one?
Hmm. Well, the seven, oh yeah, that would be a tricky part.
Maybe you're gonna have to die and somebody revives you.
So you're only able to destroy the same oracle once. So you need to identify which oracle is not gonna pop up at all. I wonder if like there's six of them, like during that phase, like there's like the same six is always gonna be appearing, and the 7-1 is gonna be just like the extra.
Oh, I
So the
see.
7-1, oh geez.
You're gonna always be rotating. So everyone's gonna be assigned an oracle, and you're just gonna rotate to the left. So if I'm on L1, the first one, the first round of 3, on the round of 4, I'm gonna be on L2. So you just rotate in a
Mhm.
circle until the round is over. That's how it works. Because each guardians must rotate oracles, and you're able to destroy the same. You are only able to destroy the same oracle once. So that means I'll shoot L1 round 1,
Yeah.
L2 round 2. and you just move around in a circle.
And that's what it is. So you one of the guardian just save is that like destroying like an oracle like only once, like the a second time once, you save it for the seventh, if that makes sense. So you have like five of the guardian just like rotating, and the sixth one is rotating with the group. But like when it comes down to destroying the same oracle once, you just like avoid it and just use it for the seventh round, if that makes sense. I think that would be the strategy.
Yeah, so we'll see how it plays out next week.
Yeah, and this
Um,
time we'll try to record it. I think I tried to record a challenge the last time and didn't record, so I'll fix my streaming next time.
yeah, I tried to do something similar and realized that Zoom cannot record gaming footage. So
No.
I'll have to find some way to connect this YouTube account to the Stadia account, which I have not been able to do yet.
Mhm.
Stadia, please help me. So the Destiny story I wanted to cover, coming from Paul Tassi, I wanted to gather your thoughts on this. Is Are we headed to a 5 to 8 month season? Is that going to happen? Um, I'm hoping it's not going to happen, but the way that their timing is with the Witch Queen, it looks like the next season coming up is going to be a long one.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on this?
So like I think it happened during the season of the Worthy. I think that was the one that was like a long like season, and they announced that the Witch Queen DLC is gonna be delayed, so that's why. Uh, I know there's talk about doing another season in between, but it's not gonna make sense. It's just gonna be, I don't know, annoying. I know you're gonna have the Odd Wing portion in there, so I don't know what they're gonna do. They're probably gonna do a long season like that, or kick off the next season without the DLC, which the storyline might not make sense. That wouldn't make sense for them to do that. They might have to hurry up and come out with the Witch Queen the DLC before this happened. But yeah, they did that in the past. I wouldn't be surprised they do that again. So your season rank is gonna be like in the 800 or something like that, like ridiculous.
My hopes is, and I know this won't happen, but make like December and January the season of competition and put efforts into Crucible and Gambit and just make it like a Crucible and Gambit sort of season. That'd be cool. Bring back some maps, do some cool things with it. That would be my ideal situation. But most likely, we'll just see an extended season like we saw before Beyond Light.
Yeah, I would like to see more map like for PvP and Gambit. If they want to keep it alive, I don't think I've played Gambit for a while because I'm just like, I don't know, there's like 2 or 3 map. Like, if they want to keep it alive, they need to add more map, you know? They need to add like, I don't know, something more. Like I really like the character there, like that run Gambit. What's his name there?
Drifter.
Drifter, excellent character. I like all the stuff he says. He's cracking me up. But like, they need to like create something else to keep him alive, right? So
Exactly. So I hope to see something come out of there. But a 5 to 8 month season may need to be jumping on to some other games. You may see us doing some Borderlands for a bit or some ESO jumping back into there for that time period, but only time will tell. This week, I jumped into some Immortal Phoenix Rising with the Ubisoft Plus, super easy, running through these new 20 games that got added to my library. First impressions, pretty cool, open world. About an hour in, I realized, oh my God, this game is puzzles, puzzles, puzzles. So be prepared for that. uh Very open world puzzles, mixing, matching, moving these pieces to line up pictures. The combat is actually maybe like 20% of the game, and it's really about solving these intricate puzzles to get upgrades. Maybe when I get further down the road and get more upgraded powers, more abilities. I'll see more combat and I'll see more legendary figures. But right now, I mean, I'm just knee deep in solving these things one after another. So I hopped off when I ran into a red door that I couldn't pass with an apple. Um, and I jumped into Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I'm loving it so far. I know that you threw up a stream. So you were into the AC universe for a bit. What were your impressions jumping into AC? And what was the last Assassin's Creed game you played beforehand?
Just before I move on to Assassin's Creed, I want to mention that Immortal Phoenix. I played the demo when it came out,
Okay, yeah.
and yeah, this game was like, it's a great game. I need to go back into it. Now you talk about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably gonna play this afternoon, something like that. But yeah, definitely I'll play into that. Going with Assassin's Creed, yes, I did a stream. Sorry if like the sound was like very echoey and the sound was terrible. I think I was using my camera microphone and it didn't work well, but I'll use my headset next time. But yeah, like I got hooked right away. Like I play Assassin's Creed before. It's they changed a little bit the not the gameplay, but the recipe of it. Like for now you can do raid. You have like a party with you, where it used to be like only a one person job, like destroying everything. But they keep some of the stuff like where you can sneak around, like you wear the cloak and then you cover it off, and then you can just mingle with people and stuff like that. But yeah, I played the first I played first hour, I think. Discover like a new area, like went to talk with that witch that's like telling you like to like follow your vision and stuff like that. And I met this guy that was like sleeping on the side doing a shift or something like that. And he was like sleepwalking. And that was kind of funny. I was like, what the hell is happening? But yeah, no, I really like it. I did what was it? There's some activity, like there's like this little game you gotta play against this person, and I won, and I just give a check. So I'm guessing every location you go to, you gotta play those game, and just like a little bit of an achievement, right? And same with the riddle, not the riddle, like you learn how to. I try to remember the name. It's
Flutter? Flutter?
Flutter.
Is it the
Yes, yes.
rhyming words? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And I played that, and then as soon you complete it and you did well, like the guy move on. So I was like, oh, okay, so that's another like, check in the box type of thing. I like that kind of thing, like where you go around, like, okay, I need to finish that area before I move on. But there's like so much stuff around, right? I found I don't use the Raven as often. I found the controller Raven being a bit weird, but like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get along, like I'm gonna get used to it like fairly quickly. Overall, the game is amazing. Like I need to play on my 4K TV and see how it goes. I play only on 1080p so far, but like the 4K is gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I've been loving it as well. With the Raven, I will say I think you need to upgrade your skill tree to be able to use the Raven more like a drone because
Mm.
the Raven is very helpful. I remember in Odyssey, I would just be able to like locate and track all of the enemy infantry before I went into a situation. So I do remember the bird being useful, but right now it you simply only look and see. So I'm thinking there's going to be upgrades to be able to mark and track your enemies with the Raven.
Yeah, I think like the first like village you kind of like invade right at the start, I used the Raven and it just identifies some of the enemy around. It made me think a little bit like Ghost Recon what you do with the drones. So I think yeah, you're right. You do the same thing. So yeah, that should be good though.
Very cool game. Look forward to jumping into more of it. Yeah. And I think Assassin's Creed also providing more support and a very long series. I'm surprised that they've kept the story going on this long. After coming out of the Animus, I honestly thought they were getting rid of the Animus in this series. I did not know that they were still going to have that connection to real time. But yeah, it's good to see that they're still carrying that story. It's come a long way from that white room, and there was actually a screen actress who played the secretary, and you would like see all the symbols on the wall. I still remember the very first Assassin's Creed. Very cool game, very cool franchise.
Yeah, I really like the first one, how they put the story. You thought you gonna be always in the past, but then like this is a mix with the future, the Templar and the assassin. So yeah, no, no, definitely. I like that recipe for like the story.
Erica Christian, that was the actress that I was talking about.
Oh, there you go.
But anyways, jumping into the TWAB this week, we see some updates from Bungie. Sebastien, do you want to touch on the TWAB and the
Yeah,
toaster?
so covering yeah, exactly, covering the TWAB. So again, like the story continue. Now Grandmaster Nightfall is gonna be available. The way they're gonna proceed is that there's gonna be those three new weapon. Every week they're gonna have the first couple of weeks they're gonna have those available. So it's gonna be perfect to farm. Which after they're gonna move on to the previous weapon. So starting July 13. So they're gonna do a rotation. So they say 4 week cycle, and then you can have available the Shadow Price, Palindrome, and the Swarm. From the look of it, it's gonna be a random drop between those three. It's not gonna be for sure a weapon. So that's gone week 4. So that's good. So if you want to farm those weapon, if you missed like last time, you can go back and farm those weapon. I'll be interested to farm the new fusion rifle, and then I haven't tried the two other one there. So plug one is the fusion. You got the Angjuri and the Uzum RR4, which is a sniper. So yeah, probably gonna do that and get the gilded gilded seal, right? So that's one of the part. Moving on, yeah, the toaster. So during the GCX, they uh, raised enough money. So the surprise they give was like that toaster. I think it's you say it was 89 bucks Canadian. 84.
84.99, the most expensive toaster. I mean, people are giving toasters away for free everywhere, and yet Bungie is putting out an 84.99 Canadian toaster because it toasts a tricorn or the destiny symbol into your toast and bread. I mean, it's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's basically the idea came from the Jotun, because the Jotun looked like a toaster, and he has the forge like the N on the side. It's pretty funny. So any sell on that toaster, 10% is gonna go to the St. Jude Children Research Hospital. So at least it's like more donation. But it's just funny they came up with that. That's all. It looked like all plastic basically. It's like probably a $10 toaster, and they slap the crest on it, and the inside, from the look of it, it's only toasting that area. The rest of the bread might be like soft, right? So it's basically a terrible toaster, but I think it's just because of the idea, that's all. I wonder how many they sold, but yeah, we'll see. They also, like, if you buy the toaster, you can get this toaster emblem. So it's just another thing. It's quite funny. Moving on after the toaster. So Twitch Prime, if you have Twitch Prime, there's like some free loot you can get. You got this emote that you just pushing the swing, like saying you're lonely, basically. And there's like a nice sparrow. I like the shark sparrow, like, and there's a ghost in the ship. The ship, it's a legendary ship. I found they just reuse the same ship. They just slap a different design on it. But yeah. And then moving on, some of the uh, they like cover a couple thing that just making sure people do like check out. So like the cross save reminder, apparently there's some issue. There might have been some issue. I think it has to do with people not like doing it properly. So look it up if you're having any issue. So far, I don't think I ever had any issue with the cross save, so I haven't played on PC for a while either. I just play on Stadia. The other thing was the Vault of Glass Bungie reward. If you still haven't got the ring and you're interested into it, you got until the June 30th of June to buy the raid ring. So if you're interested, season pass rewards. So as you may or may not know, if you log into the Bungie website on Destiny, you can go back to your previous season pass and claim some of the item if you haven't claimed it yet. So
What?
I know a lot of people what they did. So let's say if you reach the cap of last season, and then you still have an item within that season, you can go back and then just like get the piece of armor just to raise your light level on this season, if that makes sense. So yeah, just look it up. You can access it through there, and you just claim it through a website, and then when you log into your game, then it's going to be showing up.
So I'm on Bungie. I signed in,
Hmm.
and I just go to seasons, past
Yeah, there
seasons,
should be yeah, I need
just a
to
pull
look.
down. It just says past seasons.
Yeah, past season, and then you're gonna have the display, and you just like click through it, if that makes sense.
So when did Destiny start on Stadia? Season of the Dawn?
Yeah, I think so. Season of the Dawn or something like that, or Season of the I don't remember the name of it. Uh, yeah, it's close to Season of the Dawn because I have all the armor set of Season of the Dawn, but I don't know how far you can go. I think it's just the previous season you can claim, not all of them.
We will see.
Yeah, just give it a try. It's a previous season page, so um, and moving on, they have some known issue. I think they're gonna fix it. The Ada 1 has a flashing waypoint icon after player obtain 150 sin strand. Even there are no more bounty to acquire. I got this issue too. I just like disregarded. Um, the water and nothing, the gravity lift. I saw a video about that. If like you're doing the water and nothing and you try to do the like without dying, the flawless run, when you get to the chest and you open it, it's a wrong, like it's a fake chest. Don't all go in there. Just have one person going. The two other just join the allies, because I've seen a video where like the three people get teleported in there, and the teleporter gets sucked into the tube, and for some reason the game when like you two like together, but like you're not staggering like this, it will like just kill one of them. So it's been an issue like for years. I'm surprised they're just noticing it now. I don't know. Same when you go up to any type of lift, just go one at a time. And the other thing was about enemy may appear to stand in mid-air near certain platform in Europa. I didn't notice that, but hey, oh well. And that's pretty much it. Like they just have some video, just a funny video if you haven't watched it. The God roll about the what's the name of the shotgun? The shotgun from the Iron Banner. It's a pretty funny video. They show their card, their business card, but it's like the wrist runner and the God roll. And yeah, just watch it. It's pretty funny. And there's a couple more video there, some art piece, and that's pretty much it. That's it for the TWAB.
Cool. Well, look forward to jumping into the THWAB again next week
Hmm.
and jumping into the next GM coming Tuesday for the Adept Plug 1. My prediction is Glassway.
Oh
So
yeah,
we'll have to coordinate on a time to
to
take
do
this
that.
challenge on because I know you got a new schedule. So yeah, just send me a message when we can run through this.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll try to stream it too, so like everybody can see, can watch it.
How we do it perfectly the first time.
Exactly.
Moving on to the Google community blog stories. This is where Stadia posts on their blog and they let people know what's going on. Here we have play PGA Tour 2K1. It's free all weekend for Stadia Pro. I myself jumped into a little PGA, played a couple holes here and there. I love some virtual golf. Like, it's always fun. My main thing is that I would love to see motion control on the virtual golf. I feel that it is needed to enhance the experience by tenfolds. Um, Nad or Sebastien was saying previously off show that Just Dance uses a cell phone to track your monitoring and monitor your movements. Bring that into PGA and let me just swing a golf club in real time. Like, it would be so much fun.
Yeah, so Just Dance, like if you play Just Dance on the Switch, you use a Joy-Con, and for other game, I think it uses cell phone. You just log in on Ubisoft, connect to it. If someone can clarify this, but yeah, if you could use that on PGA Tour and swing a like your golf club like this while holding a cell phone and it recognize I'm guessing it's using a gyros from the cell phone. So I don't know how exactly it worked, but like that would be a pretty amazing thing, right?
I remember playing it when my dad he got a Wii for the only purpose to play virtual golf at his house, and we used to just play Tiger Woods on the Wii. So I'd love to see it come to Stadia. Give me a stick to swing with; it'd be really cool. Moving on to Life is Strange and the Life is Strange Behind the Storm Remastered Edition coming September 30th. Life is Strange is obviously based in Oregon. And if you've been to Oregon before, then you know Life is Strange there. Um, Very cool art style. I've heard from previews on the game that it's looking like a narrative driven story, not your typical action adventure. Look forward to checking it out though. And correct me if I'm not wrong, but we should see at least one of these coming to pro.
Yeah.
Am I not pro members will be able to claim both titles for free September 30th. So you'll get to check it out, go along this story. Have you been able to jump into Life is Strange?
No, but I heard a lot about it when it came out, when the first one came out, and it was like a well appraised game because like the story, how the gameplay work. So within the first one, the Life is Strange, you just you can manipulate the time, I think, on that one. Where like if you make a decision and you're not happy with it, you can reverse the time and change the decision. On the new one, the next one, the True Color, you're gonna be able to see the emotion of people based on the color. There's gonna be a color aura around them, and then you can make a decision to help them or disregard it or something like that. So it's a lot of decision-based game, similar to a Telltale game, where like based on your decision, it's gonna have a different end result. But like the fact they remaster it and it's gonna look like amazing, that's gonna be a fun game to jump into. Yeah.
Very cool. Um, and just checking out, I got prompted by my Destiny thing. It looks like I was only able to go back to Season of the Chosen. I'm
Mhm.
trying to see. I don't think I can go back any further.
Yeah, you can only go back one season. That was my understanding.
Yeah. Oh well.
Hmm.
It's okay. There's plenty of rewards, and my vault is actually I did get my vault down to 390. I know
Oh,
it
nice.
wasn't the 300 that I had claimed I would get it down to last episode. But an update there. My problem was I have to keep all these 1320 not so good rolls because if I get an under leveled thing, I want to be able to upgrade it. So
Yeah.
I have a
I
lot of pieces that I could scrap, but I want to keep for the power level.
yeah, I do the same thing. When I reach 1320, I just like keep all the extra weapon, even though they're terrible. I leave it on dim. I mark them as infuse. So like this, when I need to infuse a weapon, I just type tag infuse and it's gonna show me which weapon or which armor I can use to infuse. So
Cool, cool. So we see on Stadia's YouTube page, I think this was planned, but during the E3, I feel like they released like 5 or 6 videos during that time on the Stadia YouTube page. When, if you look at previous weeks, they're releasing like a video a week, maybe 2 videos a week. I just feel like they made a bit more announcements on their YouTube page on purpose. We see Crisis Tales. This is described as a love letter to JRPGs created by the Colombian developer Dreams Incorporated, where past, present, and future are brought together on one screen. So, very cool art style. If you like JRPGs, this game at least looks very cool. Have you jumped into What is it? Crisis Tales?
no, I've watched the video. It was the first time I see it. So the video, the YouTube video just show like not the gameplay, but just the cinematic. It looks like to be like a very anime style JRPG. It looks pretty good though. I'll be interested to take a look at it. Yeah.
No Cthulhu Saves Christmas, but it may fall right behind it. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Good to see more games on Stadia. Absolutely. Another game coming, and good to see the progression of these games are going to be coming. So we see Madden 22, we're going to see FIFA 22, and just announced the other day we have Just Dance 22. Um, One strange thing I wanted to bring up here. I mean, I don't really have too much to say about Just Dance 22. I'm not dancing in my living room with a cell phone in my hand quite yet, but I would have if Ubisoft would have included it on their Ubisoft subscription. I'm not sure why this game got left out. Ubisoft does make it. What gives? Why don't you want me to dance, Ubisoft?
Yeah,
Um,
it might be in regards to the copyright because of the song. So if you look at the Just Dance 2022, there's a song that was created. I don't know the artist, but like just for the Just Dance. And I wonder if it has to do with copyright. So if they need to put it on Ubisoft Plus, maybe they need to like increase the subscription or something like that. Who knows?
yeah, I could see there being complications with a subscription based model and artist music. So who knows? But yeah, like you said, on to the next announcement coming out of the YouTube page. We saw a video on Dead by Daylight, and it received a Resident Evil DLC, and that's available now. You got new characters, new boss, new map. So people playing Dead by Daylight, you got more content to drop into. And if you're a Stadia Pro member, I mean, Dead by Daylight is one of the games on Stadia with a constant population, and that's because of crossplay. So, fantastic game to just jump into. I myself don't like running around and being murdered or murdering other people. It gives me the heebie jeebies. But for other people, I mean, this is good news. So, more content, more play. What is your impressions on Dead by Daylight?
Yeah, like I remember we played when they came out on Pro. It was like a downtime for Destiny. Or like, oh, let's try it, and that was so funny. It just like, yeah, tried to survive, and then you get captured, get hooked. It's a fun game like to play with other people, but like yeah, it was kind of scary at some point because you don't know where the person come from, the monster or like the murderers. So it's just like running around, try to survive, try to start those generator, and like you screw it up and they explode. For sure, to attract the person, so it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it brings a lot of screams on the party chat, that's for sure. The Crew 2, they announced something which I thought was crazy, but 30 million users I saw in their YouTube video, just absolutely insane. So they're dropping a new anniversary game mode on June 23rd. And in addition, they're dropping a new car for 1 credit in the store. And I believe this is a red, uh, I don't want to mess the name of the car up. So I'll just say red sports car that goes fast. Uh, yeah, look forward to that. The Crew 2, if you got the Ubisoft Plus, you can jump into it right now. Street racing, kind of what I was asking for before. So I want to jump in, give it a try, see what these cars handle and feel like. Looks cool.
Mhm.
With a lot of support on the game as well. That's only good things. So, I mean, Ubisoft really has covered a lot of their bases on their game lineup. So it's good to see them supporting their racing game this much.
Yeah, definitely. Crew 2 looks like a pretty good game to play. We should try that one day.
Yeah, I'm up for it, especially because we're heading into a 5 to 8 month season, so there'll be more games to play. Uh,
Yeah, definitely.
Coming out of Google France, the people in the Chromecast department are getting yelled at. They announced that you can play Fortnite on Stadia in French. Sebastien, you have the French insider look on this story. So let me know. The Obviously there was sticker value shock when you see Fortnite and Stadia together.
Mhm.
But why don't you dive into the translation and let us know what's really happening in this post?
Yeah, basically the post was in regards to Chromebook and Acer from that website Boulanger. I don't know that gaming website, but basically there's those two French streamers that's gonna play Stadia, and they were basically, oh, join us, so like, and then you can get a chance to win like a Chromebook, and basically they're just talking about the Chromebook that um, you can play the game that you like on the Chromebook. You can use GeForce Now on it, and also that portion that like everybody got stuck with was that they say take advantage of games similar to Fortnite and FIFA on Stadia Pro. So I think the PR was like very terrible into it because you have FIFA on Stadia. I don't think it's not a pro game too either. And then they talk about Fortnite. I think they just want to say like play games like those on, but I think it was meant to put GeForce Now because I think I don't know. Maybe GeForce Now you can play Fortnite. I'm
Yeah,
not
you can.
exactly sure. Yeah, so I think they were just like being very bad at it. They don't understand cloud gaming yet, so they're like, oh yeah, cloud gaming you can play on GeForce Now, and you can play Stadia. They probably all have those games. So I think the Stadia, the Stadia PR and the Chrome, I guess the Chromebook PR didn't talk to each other, and that was like very badly made. So, and I know the community jump on the gun saying like, "What Fortnite is coming?" So far, there's no like word from Epic Games saying that they're gonna bring Fortnite to Stadia. So yeah, that's pretty much what's happening there.
Well, thanks for the translation and the letting us know through this confusion. I'm sure the people at Chromecast in France are getting an earful from American Stadia. But cool, cool.
Yeah.
The next story we have Orcs Must Die. It's receiving some it's ending exclusivity with Google, and it's going to be available to more platforms. Crossplay, awesome. Invite more players, have more fun, for sure.
Mhm.
We played a little bit of Orcs Must Die. Um, it's a tower defense where you're on the ground floor. Um, that's essentially a third person. There's some entertainment factors in there. I just don't know if I could kill hordes of attacking ogres or orcs, sorry, for more than an hour.
Yeah, no, it was fun when we play. It was like, yeah, it's a tower defense, but yeah, you can roam around in it, and like your character has like some skills and stuff like that. So no, it was fun actually to play.
Cool. And now a big story, in my opinion, that sort of came out of left field. We hear Instinction announced for Stadia in September 2022. This game looks super cool. You can check it out at their website. It's hashbane.com. This game, to me, when I first saw it, the first impressions were Turok. You go around hunting dinosaurs, but this is a new perspective, an updated perspective. I mean, very cool. Jurassic Park comes to life. Give me more dinosaur hunting. So I look forward to gaming on that. I mean, we don't have any gameplay footage. More just PR sort of lines on what the game is going to feature. But I look forward to seeing more videos on this game as it develops. So we should be seeing some stuff soon if it's coming out in a year from now. They must be heavy in the production, I assume.
Yeah, that game looks amazing. Like, if it's gonna come on like pretty much all the console and then on Stadia, even the Nintendo Switch. So I imagine on the Switch is gonna be on the cloud, their cloud service, right? So, but like looking at the web page, looking at some of the picture, they have a trailer. Yeah, some sort of a trailer, but like you said, doesn't show the gameplay. But like the graphics look amazing. I think it's using that photographic system where like you can they take picture on real life and add it in the video game. That's how good quality looks like. So quite exciting about it.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to it. I want to play this, what I'm going to be dubbing Turok Next Generation. So
Hmm.
we'll see. We'll see. Um, Coming out of Google Stadia's YouTube, we have a game that the creators went through a walkthrough. This is unique to the Stadia YouTube page. I haven't seen them do this before. Um, but they show about 6 minutes of gameplay, and you have somebody sort of explaining and walking through the mechanics of the game and really just building excitement. It looks like a very dark um, 2D side scroller. Reminds me of this game Blasphemy. If you ever played it on the Nintendo Switch, or it may have came out on some other consoles beforehand. Um, but very like Dark Soulsy, very tough combat. Make all the right choices. Um, Pretty cool though. I look forward to seeing this game come on to Stadia.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a fun game. If you like side scroller, go for it. You can access the video there on YouTube. It looks very good. I like the fact you can change weapon, and every weapon has different type of attack and stuff like that. You can parry and block, and yeah, like you said, it's like a Souls-like.
Yeah, I'll be setting it to easy if I do run through it.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. What we have going on next is just some basic announcements. You may have heard of this before. We may have touched on it previously. Stadia did some upgrading to their web app. There's no need to install the Stadia app on your Android devices anymore. You can now use this thing they call a progressive web app to play Stadia on Android. So just some optimization, I think, there for people who are looking to reduce the amount of apps they carry on their phone. This is a great little shortcut. So that's cool to see.
Hmm. Yeah, at the same time, give you the opportunity to like play more Stadia on any device, even though if you don't have the app on. Because I know if you have a Huawei phone that doesn't use Android, they have their own OS, I guess. So that might be they might not be able to download the Stadia app, so that could be the option.
Cool. So look forward to more access for people. And I see here that you can do party chat and YouTube streaming from the Progressive app. So, I mean, I feel like it's just a lot of optimization, and this is
Mhm.
where Stadia wants you to play.
That's cool. Perfect.
and the search bar function for the Android app. So at the same time, they're telling people not to use the Android app. They're updating the Android app. So a little confusing. I did turn it on experimental mode. I will say it's kind of finicky because if you type in like UBI, like nothing comes in unless you type the
Hmm.
exact name of the game. So, yeah, I mean, I just wish that it was a little bit better, but this is obviously a starting point and we'll just see it go up from here.
Mm-hmm.
And coming out of Stadia next, we have the Ubisoft announcement. So, this was previously talked about before, but I feel like it has now just become available. So if you have Stadia, click on the link that we are going to hopefully put in this video, and you can register for the Heartland beta. So this is the what looks to be the next division, sort of in that story, in that world game, open world, survival. Uh, Sebastien, you may have a better perspective on this game. Did you watch some videos and some information on the Heartland?
I try to remember if there was any video, but it was like a quick announcement that Ubisoft had. I know it was like going to be free to play. I think that was a big thing about it, and it was like it was based on the Division story, so I don't have much detail, but I know I registered before and the Stadia icon wasn't there, so I had to click PC. But now if you go and then you register, they said you already registered, but you can change the console where you want to play the beta to the Stadia. So it's a good plus. So we're gonna be able to test it out on Stadia first, and but like yeah, pretty interested to try that out and see what is it exactly.
Cool. Yeah, look forward to more games and a big open world free to play. That's fantastic. Um, Coming out of the Stadia blog again, we have some updates to some games. Madden 22, you will see on August 20th. But if you pick up the mega version, what do I want to call it? They always have that
Some eight.
premium bundle where it costs twice the amount of the standard edition. If you get that edition, you get actually 3 days early access. So kind of cool if you really are eager to play Madden 22. People who are interested, I mean, that's just a bonus for them. So cool. And updates to some games. Riders Republic. I know that it was supposed to come out in February, but we are getting it this year in September. So if you haven't signed up for the beta or demo yet, check our last video. We do have the link, or perhaps we'll repost it in this again. But sign up for that link, super easy. Rainbow Six Siege, uh, PvP gone crazy. I mean, I see huge competitions on this game. My little brother loves this game to death. Very cool, but very PvP focused. So be prepared for that. We'll see its release on June 30th. Us as Ubisoft Plus, we won't really see a price for that, but I do wonder what they will price a 6-year-old game at.
Mm-hmm.
Will be interesting to see. Have you heard any pricing details on Rainbow Six?
No, probably just gonna go check on the Ubisoft website and see how much it is for the PC version.
Oh, that makes
Maybe
sense.
maybe the PC version is gonna give us an idea, but like I imagine when it come out on Stadia, they're gonna give like a good discount on it, because like you said, it's a 6-year-old game. If they want Stadia player to be on it, like other than the Ubisoft Plus people, they should probably give a good price, a discount. Maybe there's gonna be even a better discount with the Stadia Pro, right? As usual, I think on Stadia they always like have some good sales, so I wouldn't be surprised it would be like something like 20 or 30 bucks. So.
Yeah, we'll stay tuned for that.
Mm-hmm.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The adventure continues. Stadia was included on some updates on June 15th. and we should see some DLC for Paris coming soon. And from what I've heard, is it's going to be free for people who own the game. So very good to see continued support. And another little tidbit I heard on Valhalla, it received uh, the sales on it were just out of this world, and Ubisoft has vowed to do more updates and more content for the game, supporting it over the next 2 years. So pretty cool. Um, we'll get to see how that game evolves. I mean, I'm still in the very early beginning, but I got 2 years to get to the end, so it's a good
Mhm.
timeline.
Yeah, it's a very good game, and then during E3 they announced that like they're not gonna create a new Assassin's Creed, so they can just like work on this one even more, make it better.
Wicked, wicked. Alongside these updates, Get Packed Fully Loaded is getting a major update called Fully Loaded. This adds a new bunch of content with a release date in June, or sorry, July. So all of you people who love packing up your house and putting your furniture and stuff outside in a moving van, you can look forward to new content. I myself have probably done this was one of the earlier games to come out on Stadia Pro, and I may have skipped over it. I should just jump in to see how it plays and get some impressions on it. I know that you had some positive experiences with it. What was going on with
Ye-
you and Get Packed?
Yeah, I play with my wife. Like we both play on it, and it was pretty funny because like you get to load your you get to load the truck, and then as you load the truck you get more point, and then like there's like some little like mission where like I think in the first level you need to capture the cat and box it and put in the truck, and then like the second level you start having like more complication like cars coming through, and you get to bring the stuff in there. It's pretty interesting. It kind of like have floppy arms and you just grab whatever's around. So yeah, it's a pretty like fun couch co-op. So
Wicked.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, that just reminded me. I know I don't have the story up here on show notes, so I'm just gonna briefly talk about it. But I did see on the updates that a new couch co-op feature was being introduced to Stadia, where there'll be a code and you can sign into your own Stadia account and just sit beside and play next to the person. So very good
Yeah.
to see, and continued support for Stadia. I mean, that's always good.
Yeah, so it's very similar to what you can do on Xbox or the console. So like, let's say you go to a friend's place and you want to play a game together, couch co-op, but you want to continue, I guess your achievement or something like that. You'll be able to log in through your phone to that Chromecast or to your account. So yeah, I saw the same thing too, and I was like, oh, that's a good feature. I think that's perfect to add.
Yeah, absolutely, especially since the pandemic is starting to go away and people are going to start sitting beside each other on couches again. So,
Hmm.
look forward to that. Well, we are around halfway through the year, a bit more than halfway, and we have 48 games for Stadia total this calendar year. So, be prepared for another 52 at the very least coming out for the rest of the year. So, just a ongoing Stadia game count, um, just letting everybody know. I mean, that accounts for, I would say, almost 10 games a month we should be seeing over the next couple months. So, look forward to the rollouts. We already know of a bunch of these games coming out, but continued support is always great to see. And I hope they break that number 100 and we see more titles.
Yeah, definitely.
And at the very top of this week, we had the rest of E3. We covered Sebastien covered briefly the Ubisoft portion of E3, but after that, we had developers like Square Enix, Capcom, and Xbox, along with Nintendo and Bethesda, make all announcements on their games. And we have Sebastien here, our official E3 Stadia Party Chat correspondent covering E3 here. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened at the conference?
Yeah, so basically I'll cover briefly some of the I think the topic or the games that was like better for all of them. I wasn't too impressed with some of the conference. Square Enix had like a few game very interesting. So if you play Marvel's Avenger on Stadia, there's an update coming up with the Black Panther War of Wakanda. It's coming out August 21st. Sorry, August this month, this year. Uh, but like that was pretty much the only thing related to Stadia. Other than that, like they have Life is Strange, which we mentioned earlier. They're like the one behind that game. And the one that was quite interesting from Square Enix was Guardian of Galaxy. But it's gonna release on the Switch and console and probably PC, but no words about Stadia. I'm guessing if it's going on the Switch, it's gonna be a cloud game just because of the graphic. But that's just my speculation. Other than that, they showcase like a new Final Fantasy, a little bit made by Team Ninja. That was pretty cool, but yeah, that was pretty much it. I wasn't too impressed about Square Enix. No update about Outrider, which is surprising. I feel like they're giving up on that game already. Moving on to Capcom. The big thing about Capcom was really the Resident Evil. So the Village, they're gonna provide more update on that, and they're gonna come out with the PvP Resident Evil Reverse. So I think they did that in the past. I don't know how much people play on it, but that's just an extra. They showcase other stuff, but wasn't too interested into that. Moving on to Xbox and Bethesda, if you've seen in the past, Bethesda has its own like moment, and they showcase a lot of game and stuff like that. This time, because they were matched with Xbox, it was kind of a weird one. They showcase Starfield, which is an interesting game, but we don't know when it's going to come out. It's going to come out in the next like year or so. It's going to be an Xbox exclusive, and everybody saw that coming when Xbox bought Bethesda. Um, Everything's going to be exclusive for them. Probably like some of the game they're going to maintain not exclusive, like no, not exclusive on Xbox. Is going to be Elder Scrolls Online, which we still have available for Stadia. But future Elder Scrolls most likely going to be exclusive to Xbox and release later to other console, right? So it's kind of sad to see because that would be a game I would like to see for Stadia. The other big thing about Xbox is more update about xCloud. So they're gonna be doing very similar to what Stadia did. So they're gonna have a dongle where you can plug on your TV so you can play xCloud. They're also gonna have the app available to different TV brand, so you can download the app and play directly on that. And they have the Game Pass, which is very similar to Stadia Pro, but they just have like more game within the Game Pass because of the library they had from previous console. The only thing from what I understood is that they don't have a Wi-Fi controller. The current controller you get with the Xbox, it's connected. You can connect via Bluetooth or directly to the console. So their solution might be just to be able to connect it to the dongle or the TV. I'm guessing they're gonna have to make a Wi-Fi controller somehow. I'm not exactly sure how that's gonna happen. And right now, from my understanding, the experience on xCloud is not as great. Most people look at xCloud being like what's like the best solution for cloud gaming, but Stadia has a better like experience. So from what I've seen from other people. Moving on with Nintendo, the big thing for Nintendo is Breath of the Wild 2. They had some update on that, a new video. They also mentioned it's gonna be out next year, so I can wait for that. And there's like a Splatoon 3. There's had like a little announcement if you're a big fan of Smash Brothers and so on. But like yeah, I think Nintendo like stole most of the show with Ubisoft this year. Uh, like because like for Stadia side, they just show a lot of like the Stadia game onto Ubisoft display. So I'm very happy. Like one of the company were showing like great support for Stadia. I wish there would be more about that. I feel like uh, people still feel like cloud gaming is not there yet, but I'm giving it another 10 year, and it's all we're gonna talk about. So. And that's pretty much everything for E3.
Well, thank you, Sebastian, for covering E3 and all the news. Hopefully next year we will both be at E3 with our press passes. So look forward to when things get more into person and we see what I think what Xbox and Bethesda did with their combo. We're going to see an Ubisoft and Stadia next year. So maybe that's my predictions, but we'll see.
Yeah. And then like the other thing is that if you have like a big this year was virtual, but like for anybody in the future, if they want to like showcase their game at E3, the demo, I think was either Sunny or Bill and Lloyd at Stadia Cast mentioned that is that cloud gaming would be perfect because like you don't need to worry about modifying the game. You can just put like a timer on it and people can test the game as long as they want, and then it reset after an hour or something like that. So yeah,
Yeah, or you could even have like an E3 app and these games are in it, or like a progressive web app and these games are in it, and people can just access it from their phones instead of lining up in booths. Like, imagine that
yeah,
uh,
that'll be crazy.
with a bunch of Chromecasts everywhere, and you can just boom, you're on that screen. Yeah, pretty cool.
That'll be cool.
Stadia, call me and we'll set it up. Well, thanks for coming on today, Sebastian, and being an awesome co-host.
Happy to
Thank
be
you.
here.
Thank you for everybody who stayed on and listened. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like the video, sign up for the notifications on that bell symbol, so you can get alerted whenever our podcast hits the air. Um, we want to get out there and be the best Stadia party chat podcast we can be. So everybody, thank you for listening. See you guys next week. And yeah, very cool.
All right, see you guys. See you next week.
All right. Thank you and take care. All right. And how do I end the? Oh, here it is. Stop recording.